If you're thinking about fostering and or adopting, your biggest question is probably, how will I know when I'm ready? And I totally admit I was one of those people who was sort of waiting on like this moment or like the perfect time or all the planets to align or whatever it may be. And that never happens. It's never going to be like, you're never going to feel totally confident jumping in. And so it's one of those things, you either just do it or you don't. Now, that being said, if there's something going on in your life that has a definite end to it, like say you're in the middle of your education or you are caring for a loved one after a surgery or something, and those types of things that have definite end dates on them, and you want to wait till after that's over, that makes total sense. That sounds reasonable. But if you get sucked into the trap of, oh, I'll foster, I'd like to if my house was only bigger, if we only had a bigger car, oh, when the kids are a bit older, that's sort of the wishful thinking, I guess. That's not the actual planning stages of fostering. So if that's you, just remember there is no like right time. You're not gonna wake up one day and go, today's the day, I'm ready to foster. It doesn't work like that. Just in the way that having biological children doesn't work like that, I don't think. I mean, I wouldn't know. I haven't had any biological children, but that doesn't seem like how that would go. And I think, if we want to continue that narrative, I think sometimes people shy away from fostering because it feels so instant. Whereas when you're planning for a biological child, you two, the couple starts sort of trying, but it still might be a few months, right? You just sort of make that small commitment to agree to try to get pregnant. And then there's still many months of planning and preparation when, even through the pregnancy before you actually have a baby. And fostering and adopting is actually not all that different, except you don't have to do morning sickness, which is excellent. I'm so thankful for that part. That's might be one of my favorite parts, is avoiding morning sickness. Anyway, back on track. The point of that is there are a whole bunch of stages in foster training, like regardless of who you get licensed with, if it's a state, if it's an agency, whatever, the very first step is you go to an interest meeting. That's it. It's no commitment. You just go to an interest meeting, you watch a nice little inspirational video, you learn a bit more about what it might entail. And then if you choose, you continue on with more paperwork and more trainings and inspections and such. And we'll do a whole video about the licensing process. But the point is, like, you're not committing to anything that first night. And you're not really even committing to anything until like you are fully licensed and it's all said and done, which is often a few months, if not longer. So don't feel that same pressure. Like, it is okay to say, I'm interested, I would like to know more, and then just go to a meeting and that's it, And even still, if you, like, when you get licensed, you could get licensed and just say that you want to do respite for a little bit, and that's just a fancy word for long-term babysitting, can be up to 2 weeks. So, and it's a great service for other foster parents who might need a break, or who maybe had a death in the family or something and just needs a little help for a little while, or in an emergency situation, somebody's in between placements or something. I mean, there's a whole bunch of reasons for respite. Let's not get all entangled, but the point is you can agree to do just that at first to sort of get your feet wet in the fostering world and see how you like it. And last but not least, fostering is not a lifetime commitment. If you give birth to a child, if you adopt a child, that is a forever commitment. But fostering, ultimately, once the kids go back home, if you have one placement and decide it's not for you, if you foster for 5 years and decide it's not for you, then you can close your home. And so even still, even if you do the whole thing, if you're nervous about, oh, I would like to foster maybe right now, but before I have biological kids, or I want to foster right now before I get married, whatever. There's so many good options out there. There's so many right options out there. There is, as long as you're a safe parent, there's not really a wrong-laid parent. So that's pretty cool. And last but not least, I want to throw out there that if you are watching this video, you're probably ready to foster, and I totally think you should go for it. That makes me excited. Okay, anyways, where was I going with that? Yeah, so there's never gonna be a perfect moment, but if you are looking for a sign that you're ready to foster, here it is. Here it is, my New York mug. This is your sign that you are ready to foster and or adopt. So, very good luck. Go for it.